Yes, this is Christian from Planet Dirty News. We're reporting live. We have eyewitness testimony of a man apparently walking on water near the O'Hare River in South Florida. Now, people have claimed to have seen this before, but when they saw him floating in the air, a lot of people thought that this was too good to be true. Some claimed that it could have been an alien, while others thought it could have been the Lord Jesus Christ himself. But we did manage to get one eyewitness testimony, and this is a man who has claimed to have known who the person in question is that was seen floating in the sky. We got an interview. His name is Jordan Brown Peterson. We're going to go down and talk to him right now. Here's what he had to say about what he saw today.
But he's got some serious fucking issues, man.
What the hell?
He got in trouble for, like, breeding and fighting dogs not too long ago or some shit also. He's some really weird going on with that dude.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
What is going on?
What's up, Brandon?
You know what's great about that clip where I'm in the hat is that was the last show we did before I shaved my beard into a mustache for the first time.
Yeah.
On the show. So a lot of good nostalgia right there.
I see you're pretty clean shaven right now.
I am. Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. Let's give a shout out to Saturn Video per usual. In the midst of the nutty doom, Royal Crown CHH rises from the ashes of the butter realm. Stronger than ever before, he becomes the hero we deserve. That's a good read, Brandon, especially after I'm the only person who didn't fall in love with fucking Saw X, apparently. At least I can be a hero to him.
Yeah. I still haven't seen it.
I'm excited for you to see it. We also got a new channel member. What's up, Mickey B? Mickey B became a YouTube member. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you. Let me christen you into the channel with one of these.
The best part of eating corn on the cob is when like shit sprays out of it and you hit somebody in the eye with the water. It's true. And Saturn Video, if you're still listening, I really hope you turn all these little excerpts into like a full story. Like animate it with Mid-Journey art and get it going, man.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
All right, let's see who's with us tonight, per usual. Let's see. Astro Juicy, Retro Ryan, Joe, Saturn Video, of course, Johnny Darko, Adrian James, the movie Dude, Zombie Madness, Justin Smith, Quentin Loves Trains and Horror Films, Sean Sr., JG Michael, Chris Snyder, Michael Sullivan, Mickey B, Norn Red, My Killer Podcast, Brian Sanchez, Johnny Darko, Midnight's Edge After Dark, Adrian James, Vanderhoff 66FU, Ryan OG, DJ Donnelly, Brennan, the crowd's all here tonight. This is the Ghoulies and RC Power Fest show.
Mm-hmm.
Double fisting RCs. Brennan, you want to go ahead and get it cranked open?
Yeah.
What are we cheersing to? You could call the cheers tonight.
Cheers to Saw X.
You son of a bitch.
I love me some RC Cola.
Do you look at RC as a lesser than brand, or do you look at it as a staple brand?
I think it's a staple brand. I just think it's one that you don't really see very often. But I think it's fantastic in its own right. It may not be as good as Coke or Pepsi, but it's right up there. It's not too far behind it. I think it's sort of like a little bit less angry than Coke and a little bit flatter than Pepsi, if that makes any sense. But it's still great. Like RC, sometimes I even prefer RC over the other two.
Yeah,
sometimes.
It's not too angry. It's like it's like in the middle between Pepsi and Coke in terms of anger. It's a little angrier than Pepsi, but it's not as angry as Coke.
Yeah, it's good stuff,
peeved.
Man. It is good stuff. The rebranding's kind of weird though. This like sky blue is kind of a strange rebrand.
Well, it does say me and my RC.
Yeah, maybe this is like the vintage style. I don't know. But good stuff.
Hell yeah.
Isn't RC what Long John Silver's always had?
I think they did.
Yeah.
But we had Captain D's. Not only did we have RC, but we had Mr. Pibb instead of Dr. Pepper.
Yep. You can't go wrong with Mr. Pibb.
Do you swear by Mr. Pibb? Because some people swear by it.
It's way better than Dr. Pepper, I think.
But why can't I find it at the store? Can you find it at Publix?
Yeah, Publix has the 12 packs of the Pib Extra.
What's extra about it?
I think when Pib Extra first came out, I'm pretty sure it was like I'm not sure what the difference was, but I think it was like at the same time as Mr. Pibb, and they took Mr. Pibb away, and then Pib Extra became the norm. So it's kind of a bizarre backstory. I'm probably getting the facts wrong too, but Mr. Pibb, like Pib Extra, is what Mr. Pibb is now. If that makes any sense.
I can't find it. I wish I could find it in stores because I've had it and I remember liking it.
Yeah, it's so good.
Brandon,
Like Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper is good, dude, but Mr. Pibb is better.
I agree. Well, I was saying I agree. I look. PM Prey says Mr. Pibb was good as hell. I saw the chat talking about shadows. I don't know how that got brought up, but
about what?
Blair Witch Book of Shadows.
Oh, that's a great fucking movie. I need to watch that this October for sure. I haven't seen it in like a year or two.
Yeah.
I think Book of Shadows is a lot more of it's a much more enjoyable sequel than the 2016 film. You know, like I went back and I rewatched the 2016 film a month or two ago, maybe 3 months ago. I think I told you about that, and I finally kind of like I was on board with it. Like I did hate it. Now I'm kind of like, oh, it's enjoyable to watch. As a straight sequel, but Book of Shadows, man, it's that meta stuff. I just dig it. It was too good. It was stylish. The soundtrack kicked ass, and it's so bizarre to me that I found the DVD at Pottery Barn when I was there one day randomly shopping, and it comes with the soundtrack. And I had been thinking about that week, like I need to order that movie and buy it off Amazon, and then I found it at Pottery Barn in the DVD stack, brand new. That's bizarre, dude. It's fucking bizarre.
What is Pottery Barn?
I keep saying Pottery Barn. It's like a craft store, but the one I'm talking about is actually called Old Time Pottery. It's like a big artsy kind of like Michael's Crafts and Stuff kind of store. They always have really good Halloween stuff, Christmas stuff, and they have like a DVD CD rack. And for some reason, that movie was there. It was fucking bizarre. Inaccurate. By the way, Bertoni, that was inaccurate. I don't say. I'm not going to repeat it. I do not fucking say Diva D. There's no way in hell.
Listen to the playback.
This is not a real. This ain't a real thing. That's just my slur. I'm just slurring the word. I promise. Diva D. Oh man. I'm gonna stop now.
The artisan removal edit of Blair Witch 2 is a must-watch. It's basically the Berlinger director's cut. I believe Berlinger applauded it. I saw Blair Witch 2016 in theaters.
Yeah. Did you like it right away?
No. I thought it was really awesome for the first 15 minutes. And then slowly I realized this is how on earth could you possibly even come close to doing the first movie. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. It's like, it's okay. It's fine. But I slowly learned, hey, just temper yourself because you can't recreate that movie. It was okay though.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it was okay. The first movie, every time I'm in the woods, I still think about that first movie. Even though we know it's fake, you still think about some of those scenes and it just makes you feel lost out there. It's insane. Dude. Totally effective. Totally effective.
I love that movie so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big K Movies and Games for the $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Loved Saw X. My idea for a Saw film is Society Has Fallen and Jigsaw cut hold a Thunderdome Arena. Saw events and mutilated winners are worshipped. Jesus Christ.
I do want to talk to you about Saw X, Christian, actually.
That's fine. Let me give him a little quick one.
With all these nicknames, everyone that I accumulate like 3 pounds of fat.
That's true. So I started watching the most recent Unita episode. You guys were talking about Saw X. I haven't finished the episode yet. I just kind of got into it. But regarding Saw X, and again, I've already spoiled the movie for myself. It's fine. I'm still going to see it. I'm still probably going to love the film. But do you think, after our many conversations about the movie leading up to it, does Saw X to you justify its existence?
There's different ways you could look at it. being unselfish, absolutely, because it's made a lot of people happy.
Right. Okay. So,
But it depends on how you're asking me.
yeah, what I'm asking, like, that's good. I'm glad it's making people happy. I want people to have fun watching movies. But, like, as far as the overarching storyline, does it really feel like it was necessary to tell this story? Or does it just feel like a sub story that we could have taken or leave?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, of course, it wasn't necessary, but I don't think my issue is this. People really love this film because it shows Jigsaw in a different sort of light.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly a sub story because they're literally making something up between two movies, right? They are. I just don't like. I don't love. It's all about the tone of this one for me with the character of Jigsaw that I wasn't in love with. It's really a sad movie.
Yeah.
Because it's all around the emotion of his diagnosis and him getting legitimately screwed over. So it really put him in a it puts him in a more sympathetic light, which I can tell people really like it because it is different, Brandon. There's no denying it. I'm just not in love with it.
Yeah.
I prefer the Jigsaw that when you see him, you're like, holy shit, who is like, and even though two is not my favorite, the sinister vibe of Kramer in that one when he's sitting across from it's terrifying. He's so sinister. That's what I love about the series, and I love this really dark undertone that all the movies had. This one, it's not that it doesn't have it, but once you see it, you know. And I don't think the chat will disagree with me. I think the reason a lot of people like it is because it truly is somewhat of a breath of fresh air with the style it goes into. And it's somebody described it. It might have been J.G. Michael, somewhat of like a Charlie Bronson type Jigsaw film, to where he's legitimately getting revenge on people. That's great, but guess what? That's not what I want. That's not what I personally want. I like it when. To me, especially like the first three movies, for me, those movies really challenged me. Who's really right or wrong here? This guy lost his son. Would you save that woman who didn't do anything? Would you save the guy that hit him? You really got to challenge. To me, it was a challenge. Where do I lie with this? What do I want to see him do? Do I want to see him save him? Maybe I don't want him to save him. Maybe somebody watching the film went through something similar and they're just like, F that, die. Which is what happened in 6. You killed my father, you motherfucker. Boom. That's what I loved about the series. This episode, I mean, this movie is not really like that. It's a lot more black and white to me. You're going for you're pulling for Jigsaw the entire time. And that's what this movie does. Like I said, a lot of people love that about this movie. That's just not what I'm interested in as much. It justifies its existence, sure. It's a sub-story. It's just not my favorite flavor. That's what I tried to evoke in my review, and it seems like most people respect that. Nobody was mean to me about it because I'm not over dramatic about this. I don't even dislike the film, Brandon. It's not my favorite. It's somewhere in the middle, maybe a little bit lower. But for a lot of people, Brandon, they're giving this movie high ratings. They're ranking it high. You just have to see it for yourself.
Yeah,
I'm very picky. I'm very picky with my Saw flavors that I like.
Yeah, I'm stoked to see it. I was thinking about Saw a lot this week, obviously, and I'm going to go off on a little bit of a Saw tangent for a minute, but it's so incredible to me that, you know, Jigsaw is the villain of that franchise, but it's really Hoffman. Like, we already know Hoffman becomes the villain.
I'm obsessed with Hoffman. Saturn Video says right here, I need another Hoffman movie.
Right, exactly. It's just crazy that he becomes the ultimate villain of the series. It's not Kramer at all. And it's different
from Kramer. They did some, dude, and even Hoffman, what I loved about Hoffman, and I'll let you keep going. I love the series, so I'll talk about it all day. Even Hoffman had moments where you kind of understand him.
Yeah.
When he took the guy that killed his sister and put him in the guillotine,
right,
or the pendulum, right, that was swinging. That dude killed his sister. You damn right he wanted revenge.
Yep.
The thing that was so great about Hoffman, he was evil, he knew it, he didn't care, and he was smarter than you.
Yep.
One of the greatest, to me, Hoffman was one of the greatest villains ever. I loved him.
Totally.
But that's what I love about Saw. And that's why this movie, Brandon, it's much more black and white to me. Some people would argue that, but to me, the vibe of the film is so much more black and white, and I'm not into that as much. So I'm going to shut up. I'll let you go. I really want to make that clear because I want people to understand I think it's a good movie. It's just not my favorite flavor of Doritos, so to speak. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know a lot of people also, I've heard a lot of people saying that they're kind of turned off by the film. Well, not necessarily turned off, but they find it very weird that it's basically it's a Kramer movie. Like it's the first Kramer movie of the entire franchise, which is very jarring for some people, which I can see it. Again, I'm going to have to assess it for myself this Friday when I see it, hopefully. But back on Hoffman, do you think the series is going to go back to him at some point and do like a Dr. Gordon versus Hoffman? Because he's still in the bathroom and Gordon is still at large. So like, do they do that or do they go back to another mid-cool after this? Because Saw X is tearing it up. You know,
I've got to open up another can of worms that I don't think the chat is going to like me to bring up. I talked about this on the podcast. The problem is this is not a good leg to stand on. This is not a good place to stand on. If we start, in my opinion, if we start doing these prequels between all these other movies, you're going to have these actors playing themselves as younger. And I don't want the series to become a joke in that regard. I mean this with total respect to Shawnee Smith. I still think she's a beautiful woman. She just looks older, man. You can't fake 20 years. Yeah. And I respect the fact that like they didn't de-age her. That probably would have been even weirder maybe. But the fact of the matter is, for anybody to deny that to me that it was a little jarring would be to lie. I can't see it any other way. If you say you didn't notice it, I just call bullshit. If you say it doesn't bother you, I can't argue that personally. If you say I don't care about that, that's fine. But for me, I think it would become a joke if you have all these actors trying to play younger versions of themselves and they look older. The only movie I've ever seen where an actor was older and played himself younger was Private Parts. And it was totally brilliant what Howard Stern did. Ivan Reitman wrote the movie. He said, now look, if for this movie to make sense, you've got to just believe that I'm playing like, you know the part in Private Parts I'm talking about. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It completely takes the piss out of Howard playing his younger self. Absolutely brilliant. I love that movie. If you haven't seen Private Parts, guys, it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, it's a masterpiece.
But other than that, if we start to do these movies where Hoffman, I don't want it to sound even sexist because I would say that Hoffman actually kind of looked a little bit better. He looked like he thinned out a little bit. His hair still looked good, but still, I mean, my thing is if you have these actors just trying to play younger versions of themselves, I just don't want it to become a joke. I really love this series with my heart. I really do. This was my Friday the 13th. I don't want it to become a joke if something like this happens down the road.
Yeah.
But if I'm one person, I can see some people in the chat like Chris, it's distracting. Yes. Does it bother me? No. I'm just happy to see everyone's back. I get that. Totally get that. That I can't argue. When people tell me that doesn't bother me, cannot argue that. For me, it's concerning. That's where I'm getting at. So when it comes to these movies, is Spiral the greatest thing since sliced bread? No. But do I think that movie stands on its own 2 feet? I do. Is it a fan favorite? Absolutely not. They tried something new and different. I will always respect that. Whether anybody agrees with me on that or not, I will always defend Spiral to a certain extent because it did something new.
Right.
Do I say that that's better than Saw X? Not necessarily. Saw X is still a good movie, and clearly the fans have decided that's what they want. I'm one person. But at least to me, what I liked about Spiral, for good or bad, whether you like the movie or not, you cannot deny it did something new, and I will always respect that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brandon. I'm done.
No, you're good, man. You're good. If Saw X was the shot in the arm this franchise is needed, that's great. I just really hope they go forward from here, past Saw 3D, with Gordon, with Hoffman. And I really hope they wrap in Spiral. Wasn't really a fan of that movie, but since they're now officially saying that Spiral was Saw 9 and not it's Saw 9 now because Saw X is Saw 10, right?
And that I respect.
Yeah,
do not ignore it. It's part of
cool.
The series.
Yeah, wrap that in there somehow. Wrap in the events of Spiral to Saw 11, and bring it full circle some way. But I do want to see Hoffman back. He's still in the bathroom. I want to see Gordon back. I don't know what you would do with the plot, but I think that would be some heavy really, really cool shit they could pull off. Because
I don't-
Carrie
I-
Elwes at the end of Saw 3D was absolutely sinister as fuck.
Well, that's the thing though, Brandon. He came back. That
Mhm.
was what you wanted right there.
It was.
What more could you do with these characters?
Yeah.
It's like, and the thing with with Tobin, it's okay. He's playing a literal cancer patient.
Mhm.
He's supposed to look like he's weak. I don't want to say dead, but weak. And for him to be 80 years old now, it does work. It just does. That's just reality. He has the benefit of playing a cancer patient.
Yeah.
But look, I'm really happy whether I'm in love with this new movie or not. I'm so happy that Saw is not only still around, but it's viable.
Yes.
And I think for me, I mean, if you're a fan of something, you ride through the good and the bad no matter what. You don't have to like every move. No, I do think it's silly when people call themselves like big Halloween fans. And like, dude, 1, 2 is great. 3 doesn't have Michael Myers. 4 is good. 5 sucks. 6 sucks. H2O's okay. Resurrection sucks. I hate the Rob Zombie 1 film. I hate the Rob Zombie 2 film. I love 2018. I like Kills. I fucking hate Ends. I fucking hate it. It's terrible. It's like, dude, you're a Halloween fan. You like 3 of them? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's weird to me. Okay, that's weird to me. But still, whatever floats your boat. But for me to not say I love every single Saw movie, to me, that's okay. If there's a few of them that I'm like, you know what, I'll watch it, but it's not my favorite. That's fine. I mean, a fan doesn't have to. You don't have to love every Kiss album to say you're a diehard Kiss fan. You
Right.
ride through everything. So I'm riding through Saw X. I'm riding through it, and I'll see what we got next. Because hopefully there is a next. And I would love to see something original happen again. I really would. Whether it's great or not, at least I respect the hell out of Spiral. I always will. Go ahead, Brandon. I'm sorry. I will keep talking about.
No, you're good, man. Rant away. I like it. The last thing I'm going to say about Saw, from my point of view, is I feel like there's some kind of a problem story-wise with that. There's a new killer in Spiral. The guy from Jigsaw, the 2017 film, is still at large. Dr. Gordon is at large, presumably, whether he's retired or taking up the mantle. And then you have Hoffman in the bathroom. I feel like there is a plot there for a movie to wrap everything up. That's all I'm going to say about it. But do something.
That's the problem. The problem now is, okay, Spiral wasn't a runaway hit.
Yeah.
Jigsaw, I think, made more money than Spiral, probably. You could say Spiral kind of had a little bit up against it with, post-pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to look at what's in front of them. If this movie made a lot of money and it's got Tobin in it, they may want to try to focus more on that. But at the same time, we're talking about an 80-year-old man, and he's not Sylvester Stallone.
No.
He's not and it's not like he's doing acrobatics in these movies. But I mean, look, Stallone just did Expendables 4. Tobin Bell just did a Saw movie where he kind of walks around and has cool dialogue. It's apples and oranges.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Brandon, this could be the last one with him. I'm not saying I hope something happens to him. I hope he's around for another 15 years, 20 years, but
that's fine with me.
We're on dangerous ground with this. This is what I'm talking about. We're talking about an 80-year-old man.
Aren't you fine with that though? With Tobin Bell not being a part of the franchise anymore, as long as Carrie Elwes or Hoffman was in it, would you be okay with it?
I'd be okay with anything that somebody from the Saw family, meaning the writers, producers from the series, come up with a good idea and give it 110%. Yeah. That's what I'm okay with. And I'm not saying that wasn't Saw X. It's a very original film, especially tone-wise. I think you'll like it, but maybe you won't. Maybe I don't know. It just depends on what you want or what you enjoy from the series. Because, to me, even Spiral had that gritty feel to it. We're talking about bad cops, but we're talking about a cop trainee taking the law into his own hands, like that kind of stuff, blurring the lines. I love that.
Yeah.
And even though Kramer is a serial killer himself, it's just the fact that it's portraying him in such a babyface wrestling term, guys. A babyface light that I didn't like.
Dude.
I mean, he is Shawn Michaels and King Kong Bundy is the bad guy in this movie. Or excuse, he's Hulk Hogan and the bad guy is King Kong Bundy. You want to see Hogan escape the cage. It's that simple in this movie. So.
Dude, Spiral is going to be the Halloween 3 of the Saw franchise now. Because now it's just this random fucking offshoot movie that's in the middle of the series that's not really, it's not directly related.
Yeah. It isn't, you know,
Fucking
but you know
bizarre.
what? It's if you binge the series,
Yeah.
it'll be that little bump in the road, and it could end up faring better for people.
Oh, it'll be, I'm sure I'll like it better in about 5 more years. I'm sure Spiral will kind of a sort of a,
Dude, the
I'll
hip
dig it a
hop
little bit
scene
more.
that when Chris Rock and all of them bust into that hotel room, I want it all, and they got the ski masks on. I thought that shit was crazy. Like they were renegade cops.
When Chris Rock is sitting in his car and then it just cuts to him screaming, that is the most cringe-worthy,
It is.
cringe-inducing shit.
There are some moments, but I also like some of his dialogue too. It's just there's bits and pieces that I think don't work. But like when he's got like when the guy's like, well, maybe if you don't call women bitches, I don't call them bitches to their face. What are you talking about? Like,
Right.
when Chris Rock comes out of the moments into the movie, I love because I think Chris is a funny guy, but there could have been some more work done on that movie for sure. You know,
The doll was creepy, and I think the voice was creepy in Spiral. I'm going to defend that voice. The robot, hello, doctor, or whatever his name is. I like that voice, as cheesy as it was.
The pig's kind of cool. The pig's kind
The
of cool.
pig
It's
was
not.
cool.
It doesn't touch Billy,
Right.
but it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, and I get why they use the pig because we're talking about cops.
Right.
So it's it made all the sense to me.
Good stuff.
But that's my take on Saw X. But like I said, Brandon, you have to see it for yourself. I think I'm the only person I've seen so far have the opinion that I do. Maybe one or two people might have commented on my review. Typically, when I do reviews, I don't really respond back to comments because I just want the narrative to play itself out naturally, seeing what people say. I don't want to argue back and forth or give my take back to people because that to me that's demeaning to them. I want my audience to be able to say what they want to say in the comments in my reviews, so I leave it at that. And like I said, looking at my comments, most people, I'd say 90% of people really liked or loved this movie.
Mm-hmm. Good. I'm stoked to see it.
But I'll tell you, I was thinking about this, though. What's my favorite movie of the year? And have I seen a 5-star movie this year? The answer is no. I have not seen a 5-star movie this year. I would probably, I was in love with Renfield, but I would probably back that off to 4 stars now. Did I love it, though? I absolutely loved it. I'm a horror comedy guy. What can I say? But have I seen a 5-star movie this year? Probably not. I don't think I have. You tell me that you've seen a 5-star movie this year.
It's nothing new I see. No, well, that's not true. For me, when I watched Pearl, I know that came out last year, but Pearl to me was a masterpiece. I would have given that a 10 out of 10 for sure.
It's a really good movie. Yeah.
I fucking loved it. Masterpiece. But yeah, that's about it. If that even counts, because it was home video from last year. So
a lot of 4-star stuff. I'll tell you what, I was talking to my friend Alexis about this. One of my favorite movies I saw in the last couple of years still is Barbarian. I fucking
I did see Barbarian this year. That movie was fucking fantastic, dude.
It was so good because it was, to me, you weed out the normies when they like get disinterested when they realize it's a castle freak down there. You know, I don't know what they wanted, but to me, when you find out it's literally a modern day castle freak, except it's not a castle, it's underground, right? When you find out that it's some nasty, disgusting old hag down there,
mom thing, oof.
I thought Barbarian was incredible.
It was terrific. Barbarian, that might be a masterpiece too.
That was a 5-star movie for me. I love the twist. I love the different vibes. You had the opening scene where you just complete tension with those two in the house. Then the middle part when the girl comes home and that guy starts chasing her down the street and he's trying to help her.
Yeah, that part's scary though.
Oh my God. Or just the fact when she went outside in the daytime and she saw that she was living in a legit rundown street, but she couldn't tell because it was at night. I think Barbarian was one of the most fun original films I'd seen in the last 4 or 5 years. Truly loved it. And I love Justin Long.
Yeah, that was the twist at the end was really good too. I wasn't expecting that at all. At the very end of the movie regarding Justin Long, I was like, damn, he actually did it. No spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it, but
dude, JJ, if you want to see what kind of movie is like my style, I can't think of a better definition than Barbarian. I really can't.
Scream 6 was great too.
Yeah, people are talking about Scream 6. I think a lot of people like Scream 6, but they might have it might have dropped off for them a little bit after months and
that months. Would be I would put that as a 9 out of 10, I think, for me right now. Again, it hasn't been 6 months or so, but yeah, 9 out of 10 sounds good.
I agree, Mickey. We do need Barbarian on physical. Brandon, are you gonna check out? It's gonna hit streaming, so you ain't gotta go anywhere. But are you gonna check out Five Nights at Freddy's with Matthew Lillard?
Yes. When does that come out?
Like a couple days before Halloween on Peacock and theaters.
Oh shit! Wow.
You could see it on the cock.
For some reason, I thought that was still next year.
No, that's coming.
Cool.
I feel like they're making that movie way too late, though. Shouldn't they have made that movie in like 2018?
Yeah, when was that? Five Nights at Freddy's was like 2013. I thought the hype of it.
I'll tell you exactly when the hype was, because it has to get so big for me to finally try it. 2016. That's to me, that was height. Five Nights at Freddy's, pandemonium. I remember getting the in 2016 and playing it. Kind of scared me, because you're literally like, it's one of those games where you creep through this like Chuck E. Cheese place at night, and you might see one of the heads pop out the corner, and you got to run back to the home base where you're safe. It was a fun game.
Yeah. Oh man.
Salem Station Podcast with a $5 super chat. God bless you. Did Horror Nights, and in the Exorcist Believer maze, they spoiled the movie. Saw X will go down as my favorite horror movie of the year. I love it. Well, there you go, Brandon. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. People love Saw X. I'm glad you didn't spoil what happened for Exorcist Believer, Salem. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Let me give you one.
So it's not good. It's really gross. Oh God. Dude, I just made a cake. I'm gonna ice that bitch after this stream. I'm gonna eat a slice before bed.
I bought 100 feet of LED lights, and I'm gonna put them up against the whole ceiling. You see this right here, Brandon?
Mm-hmm.
It goes up there, all the way up there, comes around, and I have it. I should not have started this before the show. So when I get done, I gotta do all of this.
Oh no! Do they all flash like that and stuff?
I can set them to a certain color. Like, let me see. I might be able to do it now. I'd have to get up.
Fail.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm getting kind of interested in Believer, man.
Me too, because I was telling Nick this. I'm putting all my chips in Exorcist Believer. Like, I need to like. Well, dude, I put them all in Saw X, and I walked out a little bummed out. So now I'm putting all my chips in Believer. You know what's going to be the real sleeper hit of the year, though, Brandon? And
Pet Cemetery.
Be ready? Pet Cemetery Bloodlines.
Dude, fucking A. I'm so ready for that fucking movie. I hope it's great. I hope it kicks fucking ass. I'm so stoked about that fucking movie. I can't stand it. It comes out in like 3 days, right?
Aren't you more stoked that you get to sit on your ass and watch it at the house?
I am. I could stay here at my house.
Is that an automatic 4 stars?
Dude, that's why, dude, Halloween Kills was 10 times better for me, because I could just sit my fat ass here on the couch and watch it.
Do you feel
I don't have to deal with fuck ass teenagers. I don't have to deal with people throwing shit. I don't have to deal with cell phones.
It was fantastic. Do you feel any different about Halloween Ends? Or are you still on the hate train?
I am absolutely on the hate train, even more than I was last year. I've watched it 5 times total now, maybe across the year, maybe 4 times. And I just cannot, again, you've lit the fire about this now. I have to go off about it for a second.
Hold on, drop a like on the show if you want to hear Brandon rant about Halloween Ends. We have 107 people in here, Brandon. We need 80 likes. We need 80 likes.
80
drop
likes.
A like, please. Drop a
80
like.
80 likes and I'll go.
Sakes.
80 likes and I'll go.
Drop a like and you'll get the Creep Show 2 dance from Brandon too.
There you go. So Halloween Ends, the story of the movie. I've said this a million times to you. Halloween Ends would make a great 4th movie if they killed off Myers and made a proper ending to Halloween Kills, right? Great send-off, powerhouse movie, and they came back a la A New Beginning and said, hey, we want to keep this world going, but Myers is dead. We can't do Myers now. Make that the 4th movie. Have him just find the mask in the sewer and become the new de facto Myers. Don't have Myers at all. You know, like then you truly have the evil passing to another person's storyline that you wanted without cheapening Myers. Like just have Myers die in the 3rd movie, make the Corey Cunningham bullshit the 4th movie. Or better yet, don't make the boyfriend die in Halloween Kills and have him be sort of the Corey Cunningham-ish character in the 3rd movie. So at least we have some kind of history with the kid. With what's his name's kid? Lonnie's kid. I don't know. I'm gonna bitch about this forever, but the story is not bad and the acting is not bad. I just think it's severely misplaced as the concluding chapter.
Look, tell me if you can understand how I feel about Halloween Ends. I finally summed it up how I truly think I feel in my re-review. I understand why you love Halloween Kills. It truly is a accidental classic, in my opinion. Not on purpose. It is an accidental classic. Halloween, but here's the thing, dude. Halloween Kills is the Halloween movie I needed, but Ends was the one that I just want because it truly does something insanely cool. To me, it's the closest one to like a Rob Zombie one with the cave and him just being this old, creepy, decrepit thing in there. Like, I just feel Rob Zombie DNA in that film. A little bit.
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying, but wouldn't you have rather had the bombastic sequel Kills promised at the end with Laurie coming out of the hospital and Myers is like just killed 35 people so nobody can touch him now. And the whole movie is just a fucking slash fest in the street to the radio tower. You know, like,
is there a better movie that they could have done? Sure. There always is. There always is.
I just I can't get on board with Ends being. I can't believe they made that movie as the third chapter.
It's wild, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm never gonna warm up to it. It's not gonna happen. The soundtrack's good though. I like the score.
It is good.
That's about it.
We've only got 68 likes, and I'm pissed.
Damn.
Let me see where we're at. All right, let's see what the chat's saying, Brandon. Anyway, guys, if you're drinking RC, Brandon, you want to talk about Ghoulies for just a second? It is the Ghoulies show.
Yeah, guys, welcome to the Ghoulies show. I really need to watch Ghoulies this season too. Like I never watched that in October, and I really need to.
I wish you would have gotten the MVD 4K because it's the Brandon. I'm gonna do a video soon of the best physical releases this year. Without a doubt, hands down, positively, the best 4K I've seen this year was the MVD 4K of Ghoulies. The best 4K transfer I've seen this year. It will blow you away. Insane how good it was. So was Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I have a beef to pick with you about Ghoulies, Christian.
Gourd head.
I can't believe you prefer the designs of the Ghoulies in 2 over 1, especially the Fishman Ghoulie. I'm just saying.
Well, if you watched my review,
I understand it, but I'm just saying.
Well, if you watched my review for the 4K, I said the designs actually are a lot more intricate than you would perceive them to be when you see it in such crisp high definition, because you can really see the detail and you can see the slime on them. I think the fish Ghoulie looks a little bit more refined in 2, though? I do. Honestly,
yeah, they're definitely refined in 2 for sure.
You know what my wife said to me the other day? We were talking about Ghoulies because she was like, "When are you doing your next Planet Dirty show?" I said, "We're doing the Ghoulies and RC Cola Power Fest show." And she goes, "Well, why aren't you doing the Ghoulies Go to College one? Because that's my favorite one."
Damn.
I was like, "Really?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, the fat cat Ghoulie with the football jersey on. That's peak Ghoulies." I was like, somehow I think Brandon would agree with that.
Ghoulies 3 is a fucking masterpiece in the best way.
Is it a crystal?
That's like Porky's meets Ghoulies, you know? Basically.
Dude, Matthew Lillard's in it. He's a baby.
I can't believe he's in that movie.
And Kane Hodder, I think, is in Ghoulies 3.
I think he is. Ghoulies 3 is so fucking good, dude. I don't know if it's better than part 1 or 2, but it's right up there.
Well, it's
right up there.
They're monstrous in part 3. Like they're like the Ghoulies and Ghoulies 2 are about 110%. Like the size of the Ghoulies in part 1 is about 80% size. The size of them in part 2 is like 100%, like regular, perfect size. And in part 3, like they're like 130%. They're just puffier, fatter.
Right.
And the cat Ghoulie has no neck. He's so fat, and he's wearing a green football jersey. And they're sitting on the couch eating. They're yelling, screaming at the frat house, eating popcorn and drinking beer.
Yep.
It's great.
Beekler did the effects for part 3, correct?
I think he did. Yeah, he definitely did 1 and 2.
Dude.
No, he definitely did 2 and 3, but I don't know if he did 1.
Who the fuck?
Probably.
Did
I'm
Yeah.
sure he did because Charlie Band had a relationship with Buchler for a long time.
Yeah. Ghoulies is so damn good.
Oh, it's money.
Goddamn Ghoulies.
So
is
it
so
always
good.
has been money. 72
That
likes. We're
scene.
almost at 80. We're almost at
Almost
80.
at
Come
80,
on,
guys.
guys.
Come on.
Drop a like. Drop a goddamn like. I'm watching right now. We're at 73. Brandon, you got your skeleton back there?
I do. Cranky the Skeleton, man.
That's awesome.
It's good stuff. That's Home
It
Depot
looks
right
good.
there.
74. We're at 74. So
People
Brandon,
are going
I
to
got my
start
dual-
unliking it.
No, they're not going to do that. They're good people. So I got my dual computers here.
Mm.
What I like about this computer, Brandon, let me see if I can just show you, is it's a touch screen. Is yours
wow.
like that?
No.
Yeah.
I would break that in 10 seconds.
No, you wouldn't. You'd be fine. My dad gave this to me, so I bought I bought a laptop like we were talking about the other day, and it's a good laptop. I got an HP, and I was like, you know what? I remember a while back Sydney wanted a laptop, and I got her a Chromebook, and she was bummed out. I didn't know this because I did not do my due diligence, and this is for everybody listening too. If you're interested in stuff like this, she wanted to be able to play like Sim City and stuff because she loves those games. And I didn't realize that Chromebooks can't get apps. It's literally a Chromebook is a pretty useless device.
Mhm.
Like Chromebook, you can't download stuff from the Microsoft Store or anything, or get Steam. You literally can surf the web with it. So I got her the computer, and she was like, "Damn, I can't use this thing." So I felt really bad. So I started using the Chromebook, and then when I got a laptop, I was like, I need to give this to Sydney. So I gave her that, and then lo and behold, later that night, my dad was like, "Hey, Christian, I got a new computer. Can I give you my? I got a computer. I'll give you if you want it." So it all worked out,
Hell yeah.
and you know, but now she wants a PlayStation 5, dude, because our anniversary. We've been talking about getting one of these for a long time. Our anniversary is Friday the 13th. Which,
Right.
Brandon, you want to tell them about the next show for sure? We may have one before that, but
Yeah, what do we call it? We call the next show. The next show is coming up on Thursday, the 12th of October, which is coming up really soon all of a sudden. Holy crap, 10 days from now. It is going to be called the
I'll show the picture of it right now.
Thursday,
I got
the
thumb.
12th plus Ice Cold Beer Show? Extravaganza? Something like that.
The
There it
Thursday, the
is.
12th, Ice Cold Beer Extravaganza. So
We are
guys,
excited.
And then I was talking to Brandon about this. We're going to do this. We're going to do a pumpkin carving show.
That'll be fun.
And the winner has to get naked.
Don't tempt me with a good time. I will carve this pumpkin.
Oh! Is that a real pumpkin?
No, I wish. This is a Home Depot special from about 3-4 years ago.
Oh, very nice.
Good stuff.
What kind of beer, though? Ask Josh Casper.
I'm going to do some kind of fall beer. Probably if I can find Sam Adams Jacko as a 6-pack, I'll get that because I haven't enjoyed Sam Adams Oktoberfest the last 3 or 4 years. It's been like, it's had a weird flavor. I can't be wrong about that. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that.
Like Oktoberfest used to be really good and consistent, but the last 3 or 4 years, maybe just 3, have been very strange for Oktoberfest. But Shipyard Pumpkinhead's good. Pumpkin is really good. What are the other ones?
I'm with CR. I'm an Angry Orchard guy. Does that count?
Yeah. Do they do like a Halloween thing too, or no?
They may. I just know that's what I drink. Hard cider drinks.
Hard cider will get you trashed. People think it's just like I'm like
A
no,
fruity drink.
yeah, it tastes so damn good. It doesn't even taste alcoholic. You just get
I know.
You get trashed and then you get a stomach ache really bad.
I ruined myself. Well, if when we do that, I won't have work the next day because the next day will be Friday the 13th. And Brennan, I'm hoping I have my Jason Takes Manhattan by then because if I have it early, for like a week or so, then I'm gonna make that my Friday the 13th special video.
Nice.
I don't know if I've told the audience the story about that. You know the story about that, do you, Brandon, or no?
Yeah, the trade thing, right?
Yeah, maybe people find this interesting. So a decade ago, guys, I bought a Leatherface bust from Creation X, a great company. I love them. Still great. I've got a Phantasm Tall Man bust from them. I got a Leatherface bust from them. Well, he stopped making that Leatherface, I guess, years ago. How you doing, Retro Broski? I caught y'all live. What's good, fellow horror fans? What's up, man? Drop a like on the show. 78. So I bought this Leatherface a decade ago, and I've had it ever since. Well, this guy hit me up. I won't say his name because I don't. He seems pretty private. I'm not going to give away his identity. Not that I doubt anybody here would know who he is, but he goes, "Hey, man, I'm really interested in that Leatherface bust you have. What do you want for it?" And I was like, "It's not for sale." And he's like, "No, I'm asking you, what do you want for it? Everything's for sale." I was like, "God damn." So we went back and forth. He was like, "Dude, name me a price. I've been looking for that thing for a long time. Here, I'll trade you this. I'll trade you that." And he had some high end stuff he was willing to trade me. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And a couple times he kind of had me, but I would always say, I've had that Leatherface for a long time, man. I don't want to get rid of it. I really love that Leatherface. And then he saw my video I did on retro Freddy Krueger figures. And I was showing a bunch of cool stuff from the past, some stuff that's really expensive. And he was like, "Hey, that Freddy Krueger wall sign with the tombstone that lights up, I'll find that for you on eBay and I'll buy it." And I was like, "Really?" So those things go for like $500. He goes, I want this Leatherface. I'll do it." And I was like, "Okay, I'll think about it." And then I thought about it, and I was like, if he gets something like that that's old on eBay and then it's in rough shape and I'm not happy with it, then he's out money. Then he's got to deal with that. I don't want to do that. That sounds like it sounds like it'd be a mess. So I ended up backing out of that. And then he was like, "Listen, dude, tell me what you want to do. I need this Leatherface." So finally I was thinking about it. I was like, if this is this guy's dream item, I've got to get my dream item. I have to get my dream item. So I told him, I said, "This is what I'll do. You go to Devil's Latex. You buy the half torso, or you buy the torso Jason Takes Manhattan. I'm talking waist to the head, full of slime with the mask. It's been a dream of mine to always own a big Jason Takes Manhattan. You order that, ship it directly to me, and then as soon as I get it, then I'll send you Leatherface." Literally within an hour, he sent me a PayPal invoice of what he had to pay for that thing. And I'm not going to say what it was on here out of privacy, but guys, it's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
And the guy, trust me, he goes, "I'll be honest with you, that wasn't easy, but I really want that Leatherface." So
That's a good deal.
I'm getting a giant torso of Jason Takes Manhattan. And
I'm jelly.
He's getting my Leatherface. So as soon as I get that, and I talked to Steve Bellamy from Devil's Latex. I think he's the best in the business.
Great work.
Especially for Friday the 13th for sure. I think he's the best. So as soon as he gets done with it, and I know he told me I was going to get it probably somewhere in early October. So I can't wait. So I'm hoping I get that before Friday the 13th because I want to do a killer video for that. But I'm excited.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Devil's Latex has supreme stuff. He does his really cool, like, burned Chucky dolls too, which look fantastic. I see he does like the Ninja Turtles heads and stuff. Really good stuff, man.
The Turtles heads are wild.
I've ordered several stuff from him over the years.
Yeah, I've always been happy with everything I've ever ordered from him, and I've got lucky. Like he'll do like super flash sales. Like if you have to put his page on all notifications because sometimes he'll share a story like this needs to go now, $250, and I got a Freddy's Revenge bust from him. It was silicone, and when I got it, Brandon, like when it came in the mail, I opened it up, and in the build of the bust on the back of Freddy's back, it says "fuck mass produced." It's got in Freddy's skin on the back of his neck. It says "fuck mass produced." He carved that in the stitching of the, not stitching, but you know what I'm saying. He carved that in the body of his of the back.
It's in the sculpt.
Neck. Yeah. So it's crazy. So needless to say, Steve Bellamy is not a fan of mass produced.
I still want this, dude. Stuff. I want this from Devil's Latex. Oh, it's not going to show up. Damn it.
I almost asked for that
That
'Cause I
Jason
could have
Goes to
gotten
Hell. That thing is gnarly, dude.
It is, but you know what, Brandon? Like at the end of the day, I told myself my dream was always that Jason Takes Manhattan.
I know.
And you can't go wrong with Jason Takes Manhattan. You just
You
can't.
can't. You can't.
You know.
It's the
What do
scariest
you?
version of the character.
I agree. Random question: how do you guys feel about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and the film being a dark comedy compared to the first film?
It's a crystal skull. It's beyond a 10. It's beyond a masterpiece. It's a perfect horror film. It's the perfect sequel. It's the only sequel that matters to the original film. And I don't care how wacky or cartoony the part 2 is compared to the first film, it still feels like it has the same DNA as the first film. I'm not sure if that's just because of Toby Hooper or because it was the first sequel, but that movie feels like a legitimate sequel to the first movie, unlike every other sequel in the franchise, including 2022, including 3D.
To me, TCM2 is a complete acid trip. The entire movie,
It is.
everything about it, because when it's not going haywire, it's hysterical in all the right places. You go from this, I think one of the greatest scenes of 80s horror by far, is the Sawyers, or is it the Hewitts or the Sawyers in part 2? What are they called?
Sawyers.
The Sawyers,
He would
right?
turn to the reboot. Yeah.
Okay. When the Sawyers are driving backwards in the pickup truck with the two guys in the car next to him.
Yeah.
And the first thing Leatherface does is Thriller with his what was that? Was that Grandpa that is in front of him, or is it
Nubbins?
When he literally does
He does.
Thriller before he pulls out the chainsaw, that is probably one of the greatest moments ever. And then
that freaked me out as a kid, dude.
Are you kidding me? Are you, dude,
that little scene
terrifying.
When he popped up as a kid? That shit was not funny to me as a little kid, dude. I promise.
That's what I'm saying, dude. All those movies like that are horror comedies, like Jason X. When you're really little, there's nothing funny about Jason X, dude. It's just terrifying. I think TCM2 is clearly the best. But besides the first movie, to me, TCM2 is clearly the best Texas Chainsaw film.
Agreed.
It's weird. Like that's another thing. I'm usually not an outlier. I really don't think I am. A lot of times I feel like I join the masses in agreeing with like this movie's great, this movie's not. The masses love the remake. I like the remake. I far from love it. I actually prefer the beginning over the remake. I think to me the beginning is my perfect version of the remake.
Yeah.
I love the beginning more than the remake.
The beginning is great, dude. My only problem with 2003, that movie, actually, I love that movie so much. It would be a crystal skull for me, which is beyond a 10. If they hadn't chopped his fucking arm off, that movie, that move almost killed the third act for me. That movie.
It's ballsy,
chopped his arm off.
You
know? It was ballsy, but I'm like, you just killed any chance of this being a franchise. Maybe that was the point, but I'm like, come on, dude. Like, that's just... come on.
Well, you gotta wonder, the idea of doing sequels to remakes like that was like at the time, I can imagine that probably would have been a foreign concept.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know that sounds kind of weird, but think about it. Like, hey, we're doing the remake.
Yeah.
I don't even know that there was talks about what's next from this movie. It was probably somewhat of a foreign concept at that point.
That started the boom too, didn't it? That was the remake boom Kickstarter, I think. That was before Dawn of the Dead. It was before Amityville Horror, I think.
Yeah, because the heartbeat before that was basically like the old school film remakes: Ghost Ship, 13 Ghosts, and House on Haunted Hill, and Psycho.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think TCM was really like the first. Now, in another world, do you think Zombie should have directed that movie? Or do you think it's too on the nose for him? I feel like it's too on the nose for him.
It's too on the nose. And I already think House already feels a lot like a pseudo psychedelic remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Time out. This is for you and the chat. What is the better movie? House of a Thousand Corpses or the Texas Chainsaw remake?
Oh, fuck.
To me, there is no doubt about it. Zombies, House of a Thousand Corpses is what do you call it? A crystal skull? That is his best movie. It's always going to be his best movie. He's never going to top House of a Thousand Corpses. He created one of the most iconic clowns in history. It's House of a Thousand Corpses every day of the week, twice on Sunday.
You know what's weird about House is I liked it the first time I saw it in theaters, but it took me a long time to love it as much as I love it now. It wasn't a straight love at first sight like 2003 was. So I can't. I'll have to think about that, man, and come back to you
Dude,
because I'm not sure
listen,
what I'll choose. But
the gas station scene of Spaulding, quit shoving them goddamn paper towels down the toilet. That alone. Dude, the gas station, just imagine you like have two guys bust in with guns and your reaction is, man, y'all get the fuck out of here, man. Like that's
fuck
his
yo,
reaction.
grandma. Yeah.
I don't like chicken and I hate clown. Brandon, I think I talked to Garrett about this. The House with 1,000 Corpses. The people always talk about zombies films getting 4Ks. I'm right there with everybody else. But the House with 1,000 Corpses Blu-ray is one of the most pristine looking movies.
I was just
ever.
gonna bring that up to you. There's something I'm not sure why that movie looks
Pristine.
weird. Like the interlude stuff he shot with his video camera in his basement.
eight.
Like that's not what we're talking about. Like the actual filmed scenes in that movie, there's something weird about the depth to the scenes. It almost looks like it was shot 3D, but was not released in 3D. I can't explain it. There's something weird about, like, in a good way. It has a weird look that I can't figure out how they did it. I've never seen another movie that looked like that before or since 2003.
Well, Brandon, I got news for you. The audience has spoken. They're saying House with 1,000 Corpses.
Oh God.
I don't think this is Brandon. Come on, dude.
I'm trying to decide.
Which one has much more lasting impact? Because let me tell you something, Brandon. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre still reigns supreme.
Yeah.
House of 1,000 Corpses is still the most marketed film he's done for a reason. Not Devil's Rejects. Not Devil's Rejects. It's House that's still marketed.
Yeah. House is
still. You don't get T-shirts of Captain Spaulding, Cutter, as he's called, and I love Devil's Rejects. Don't get me wrong. You don't get shirts of Cutter. You get Captain Spaulding and his gasoline and fried chicken.
Right.
That says something to me.
Yeah.
That's cutting through that glass ceiling to penetrating pop culture.
I don't have an answer for you right now between the two, but I will say this. I love House. Do you have White Zombie's Astro Creep 2000?
I've listened to it 1,050 times.
Well, Rob Zombie did most of the artwork in those little booklets, and the first movie feels like one of his booklets come to life. I will say that for sure. It feels like the mind of Rob Zombie going haywire, which it is.
I didn't know.
I like Rejects better.
Well, that's fair. Rejects was so good that even Ebert and Roper gave it 2 thumbs up. They couldn't deny how good of a movie it was, as grisly as it was. You know?
Yeah.
What's the most iconic scene in Devil's Rejects?
In Devil's Rejects? Ooh.
To me, I can tell you right now.
The most iconic scene is where he takes the car. He's don't you like clowns? That whole speech he does. I'm going to come back here and kill your whole fucking family. That's the most iconic, I think.
You know what I like
Devil's
the most?
Rejects.
Ken Faree. You want me to take a chicken, cut its head off, fuck it, and go,
fuck it. And go, ah! You calling me a chicken fucker? That's the funniest shit.
Dude, DDP and Danny Trejo cooking barbecue fajitas in the shitty trailers. What are they, like hitmen or something?
Yeah. What are they called? They're called the Unholy Two. Well,
dude, what's so great about Rejects, and this kind of goes back to the Saw stuff we were talking about earlier. I kind of picked Sheriff Whitell's side in that movie because he's such a good character.
Oh, he's fantastic.
You know, like I kind of take his side in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that's like the only time where Devil's Rejects gives me a hint of the vibe of House of 1,000 Corpses is when Tiny shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And it charms me whenever he shows up. And it's really sad too, because that was basically the scene of the actor himself telling the world goodbye because he passed away right after that.
Yeah, he walks into the burning house and stuff. That's such a bizarre scene.
It's very symbolic because he passed right after that. Now, and for the chat as well, have you guys seen the scene of Dr. Satan in the hospital bed?
Yeah.
Something so disturbing about that. I wish he would have kept it in.
Do you think it would have thrown the tone off? Because I know he said it didn't make sense. It was too cartoony, but he looks
It
like
totally
the
doesn't make sense.
redesign of Satan looks really freaky in that Rosario Dawson scene.
Here's the thing, and I think the chat will agree. It's perfect that Satan was not in the film because there's still a third film in the series. It's called Dr. Satan. And we need it. We need Dr. Satan. That's what 3 from Hell should have been.
Did I ever tell you my theory of 3 from Hell? What I wanted to happen?
You had an acid trip movie version, right?
What I wanted 3 from Hell to be was for them to actually start the movie off dead. I wanted them to be in the morgue, and I'll be quick about this because it's a stupid fucking idea.
Go ahead.
All shot up, filled with bullet holes in the morgue. Trippy set design, whatever you want to do. And I wanted, what is his name? Earl from the first movie to bust through the wall with his axe or whatever, with Dr. Satan on his giant like skeleton pendulum ribcage thing, like a marionette. And he like injects the bodies with whatever the fuck he injects them with, and they come back to life. And they're literally back from the dead. And the whole movie is just a crazy, zany, nightmarish. They're actually dead people now. Like I wish he had gone the full crazy route instead of just, oh, they survived, you know? That's what I wanted. Something psychedelic, something trippy, something supernatural. I mean, why not do that versus just, oh, they survived somehow? And if you're going to have them just survive like he did, at least put a conversation in there where they're like, how did we survive? How did all of us survive that many bullet holes? Like they never acknowledge that they're lucky to have survived as, you know what I mean? As mortals. Like there should have been something alluding to the title more than just, oh, they survived. Either go supernatural or at least have a conversation in the film where they're like, we're so lucky. Are we blessed by satanics, whatever, you know, something, give me something.
Well, or even if like, yeah, I'm with you. I think there's a different film that they could have done. Even if, let's say by the time they did this, Sid Haig was still too old to do the movie, and he was unfortunately knocking on death's door. Mm-hmm. He could have died in the gunfire.
Yeah.
Sherry or Baby and Otis could have gotten captured. Tiny stops the police car that they're in, drags them down to the depths of hell, where Dr. Satan operates on them and keeps them alive. And then they get revenge and do some kind. There's so many ideas that they could have done, but I feel like Zombies thing, which I don't necessarily agree with, but I respect, is he likes each movie to feel different. Like obviously, part 3 was the Latino kind of movie, and I like it, but it's not great. As a matter of fact, 3 from Hell kind of ages a little bad for me, and it's no disrespect to. It's really Baby's movie. And honestly, some of my favorite stuff is her literally going insane.
Yeah.
In the film, right?
Like with the cat dancing and stuff. Yeah, there's some good stuff there.
But there's different ideas we could have done. He did an interview where, like, when Lionsgate found out before they were about to start filming that Sid Haig was sick and he couldn't film, they pulled the plug. He admitted that Lionsgate, when they found out about Sid Haig, they said, it's off. And Zombie was like, please give me 24 hours. And he said in a day, he wrote the Midnight Wolfman. In one day, he wrote that character.
Yeah.
That kind of explains a lot.
Yeah.
He's not fleshed out. He's not a great character.
Yeah, you like Foxy?
I like Richard Brake. Richard Brake was the ice monster guy in what was that show called?
Game of Thrones.
Dude, he was the devil in that show.
He was the Night King for like the first 2 seasons of the Night King being, and then they changed to a different actor, but he was the original Night King.
You know, like he shows up for the first time. They don't fight, but he shows up. He looks at that one guy. Dude, he looks like something from Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was great.
And he goes like this, and the dead bodies come back to life.
But we can be honest. It's clear he wrote that character in a day. It just does. It's not. Richard did what he could, but I dare say he's a lot more fun and fleshed out in 31 as the drugged out
Doomhead. Yeah.
Doomhead. Which my wife will defend 31 until the cows come home.
So will I, dude. That monologue he has in the beginning is so good. He could have been the Joker as far as I'm concerned. You
You know,
know?
this my wife. We were talking about this because I kind of fell victim to a lot of what people were saying. Like, dude, there's no story there, blah blah blah. And I remember I was like, well, Sydney, a lot of people don't like it because they were just like, well, what is this movie? And she goes, what do you mean? What is this movie? It's a bunch of carnies getting captured and have to fight for their life all night. What the fuck else do you need to know? And I'm like, you know what, Sydney, you honestly have a point. Like,
Right is right.
what else do you know? Who's the best villain in that film? I will defend him till the cows come home.
Don't
as
you
well.
dare say the midget dude.
The midget Nazi guy. He is fucking awesome because he's squirmy, dude. Honestly, like Doomhead, he is like Richard Brake weighs like 70 pounds.
Mhm.
The two Chainsaw guys were great.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. 31 is good.
I do like 31. Like the more I watch it, the more I'm just like, this movie is
It's
fucking
good.
fun.
That's a popcorn horror movie for sure.
Literally.
That's just a good Halloween time. That's what that is.
Right. All right, Brandon. I'm gonna turn this into a short too. Rank the Rob Zombie films now. Least favorite to favorite.
Least favorite to favorite. Ooh, oh shit. Okay, I have not seen the animated
We're not counting.
what is it called?
Super Beast though.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. So I'm gonna go least favorite to fuck.
Let me run down his films for you. That way you know. House of a Thousand Corpses,
Right.
Devil's Rejects.
Mhm.
Then you've got
Three
Lords
from
of
Hell,
Salem,
Lords of Salem,
Three
31.
from Hell, the two Rob Zombie films,
Right.
and the Munsters.
Okay, so all right, here we go. The Munsters is my least favorite out of everything for sure. Then it's gonna go straight to Three from Hell. Then it's gonna go to Lords of Salem.
Damn it.
Lords of Salem.
We'll
But I
talk
like
about
Lords
that.
of Salem a lot. I think I like that movie a lot. Then it's gonna go to Halloween. Did I already say Halloween 2?
Not yet.
I gotta write this down. I'm losing track here.
I want to make this a short, so I gotta take you.
Yeah.
Let me rank them while you're writing this down.
You rank them.
Let me do it, guys. I'm gonna do the best to worst. The best, House of a Thousand Corpses. Second best, Halloween 2. Third best is Devil's Rejects. Fourth best is 31. Fifth best, Halloween. Sixth best. Excuse me, strike that. Lords of Salem. Then Halloween. Then the Munsters. I actually think the Munsters is okay, but like there's some really cringy stuff in the Munsters.
It's a good watch once, but I never want to watch it again. And I was
Like,
really rooting for that movie too, dude. I was really hoping for it.
Me too. Well, the I Got You Babe music scene is blisteringly cringy.
I don't get why he didn't have a full narrative there. It was just a bunch of scenes. Like that kind of blew my mind. Like, give us something.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Brandon, I can tell you this, Brandon, 31 is crept up on my list every time I've ranked the films. 31 has crept up higher and higher. I think people are figuring it out. The problem is they're thinking about it. They just need to stop thinking about it. I mean, how cool is the RV that they drive with the big clown on the front?
Oh, it's great. So there's 8 films total, right?
Oh, I'm gonna have to do this again myself. Read them out to me.
House, Devils 3, Halloween 1 and 2, Lords of Salem, Munsters, and 31. That's it, right?
Yes, not in that order, but yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go for my list now. This is from least favorite to favorite. Here we go. These are my least favorite to favorite picks for Rob Zombie's movies. Least favorite is Munsters, then Lords of Salem, then Halloween 2, then Halloween, then 3 from Hell, then 31, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects.
So 31's in your top 3.
It is. Yep.
That's badass. Dude, I'm telling you, 31's coming.
And again, you know what's funny is I like all these movies in his list. It's just obviously, you know, one's got to be the least, but Munsters really, like, if there was anything on this list I actually disliked, it would probably be Munsters. It was good to watch once. Rob Zombie's a competent director. I like Rob Zombie. I love Rob Zombie's work, but Munsters was just, I am lukewarm at best. But Lords of Salem onward, I like all those movies a lot.
I like Lords. I've always liked Lords of Salem. One of the biggest criticisms that people don't like is the ambiguity of the end. But that's where I think the film is at its strongest, quite frankly.
when I think I look at the end scene as Sherry like succumbing to what she is now. She's literally like a member of a member of hell or something.
That movie, do you think that movie, if he had made it now, do you think A24 would pick it up for a wide release or no?
Good question. Because the interesting thing is that's a Blumhouse film.
Yeah.
You know,
and then to give him a wide release, right? That was very limited, I think.
It was fairly limited. I got to see it in theaters, but I had to drive an hour and a half to go see it.
That's awesome. Damn, I wish
But
I
the
could see it
cool
in
thing
theaters.
was they made 4 posters for it. It was the same thing, but just different colors. There was a yellow, blue, green, and red version of.
I wanted that yellow.
Like
it was like the melting face, right?
Well, she had like the Day of the Dead makeup look on, right? The black and white with the black eyes and stuff.
Yeah,
like she has
like
in the
that.
movie. It was kind of Day of the Dead-ish, like the holiday, Mexican holiday.
Right.
Kind of had that kind of look to it. Or kind of like Otis in the end of House of 1,000 Corpses. Same thing, kind of. I could probably pull it up. Let me look at the poster for Lords of Salem.
I think that's actually probably, I mean, it's weird, but I think Sherry Moon did really, really good in that role in Lords of Salem.
Here, check it out. There's, like I said, there were so many variants of there's so many variants of the poster, which is so interesting considering it's a limited.
See, there was a
release
yellow
film.
poster. There was a yellow poster I wanted with like the melting face. I swear to God, I'm talking about something else.
Well, here, let's see.
Yeah,
so they got
poster's
yellow.
sick.
I like the kind of the blue one a lot. They
The
got
blue one's
yellow,
good.
blue, kind of purple, and I thought there was a red one.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of right there, Christian. That red one, that all red one with like the melted baby looking thing. There's a yellow variant of that, I thought.
Now, Brandon, have you seen the video of Rob Zombie's home collection where he has that baby?
Yes.
Dude, I think Salem is mean in some ways because it really toys with your perception of how ugly stuff in religion can be. Like the scene, like it's really fucked up to talk about, but the scene where Sherry's in the church and she starts giving the priest a blowjob, like it's so sadistic, right? Like she's just like, and at the very end where the preachers have no face, they look like these petrified heads, and they have dildos sticking out. You remember this? And they're all.
I don't recall the blowjob scene at all. How do I not recall this?
Oh, dude, it's fucking intense. Literally, Sherry is starting to. She's played the record. This is like I think The Witch is an incredible film, but this is kind of like Rob Zombie's version of like The Witch in a sense, right? So once she plays that record of that band, like that, boom, 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 you know what I'm talking about? The evil has now. She has invited the evil in.
Yeah.
Well, she starts having these weird feelings, and so she's like not sleeping. She's seeing shit. There's this great moment where she goes into that abandoned apartment at the end of the hall, and she has that vision. I remember the first time I watched this movie, Brandon, it freaked me out. She has this vision of a red hill, and you see this Titan monster. You see the silhouette of him walking up to the screen. You never see the monster, what it looks like, but you see his giant outline. You remember what I'm talking about? Well, she goes to the church the next day, and the priest comes up to her and sits down next to her and kind of starts talking to her. And then all of a sudden, like, he says something really creepy to her, and she starts giving him a blowjob while he's saying some kind of demonic prayer. And then all of a sudden, boom, she snaps out of it, and the priest is like, "Ma'am, are you okay? You were asleep." And then she runs out of there. It's a really disturbing scene. But like Zombie was willing to press that.
Yeah.
It's like taking all that creepy stuff you could, like the dark ideas you have about how creepy Catholic priests can be. Like I grew up Catholic, dude. Like he took all that stuff. He wasn't afraid, and he went for it. Like I respect Lords of Salem a lot because, dude, it's a mean film. I actually think it's a good movie, and it is as fucked up as that kind of stuff is. The one big thing people don't like about some of Zombie's films is his dialogue. There's not a whole lot of intense vulgarity in that film. Now, there are moments where The scenery is intense. Like at the very end, where all hell has now broken loose, and they show a shot of these priests with no faces. They look like Slender Men, and they're jerking themselves off. They got big pink dildos. It's just creepy, weird visual shit. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
I think it's a good movie. I really do. I think not necessarily that it was ahead of its time, but I think the zombie fans were just like, what the fuck is this? Where is the backwood rednecks, you know? And he never did anything like that ever again. Never. It really is his black sheep, but I like it a lot.
Yeah. Do you think he was at all inspired by the Three Mothers trilogy for that movie? Or do you think it was more of like a Suspiria thing?
Oh, I think all of it. All of it. I mean, he clearly wears his, in my opinion, he wears his inspirations on his sleeve, and he shows it all on screen. I think you know that apartment scene, anything 70s, he's obviously influenced by. Just look at the apartment building in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most 70s looking apartment building ever. All they play is 70s rock. Like her whole thing is Rush, which was early 80s. Like it was like they play Tom Sawyer at the radio station. But like it's clear where Rob, whatever influences him, that's what he puts on screen.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, I like it. I was going to do some more re-reviews this month on my channel, and I knew that's one I wanted to do a re-review on.
You got to, yeah.
Lords
I need to
Salem.
go watch it again. I
was going to do Jason X. I was going to do Jason X. I was going to do Lords of Salem. But yeah, I wanted to do some reviews about those movies and like reintroduce them to my audience. Because like, dude, that's not nobody talks about Lords of Salem. And when I say nobody, that doesn't mean nobody, but like, when do we ever talk about this film, Brandon? Like, we just don't.
Yeah.
It's Halloween 2 House, but Lords is the one, dude. Like, I really loved. Like, I want to talk about that film. So like, I'm gonna rewatch it, and I'm gonna break it down because I think it's. And they have that crazy witch scene in the beginning with Meg Foster and everything, where they're just butt ass naked in the woods with the fire and. You know, I don't know, dude. It's good shit. I love Hobo with a Shotgun. That's a classic. Oh, man. Anyway. What else you got tonight, Brandon?
What else do I got tonight?
How's Friday the 13th day coming?
It's coming. I just finished the part 7 review. So I've got 4 more to do. Let's see, 8, 9, 10, and the reboot. I already did Freddy vs. Jason. That's already available. So 4 more reviews.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
They're long as fuck, too. They're like 15 minutes a piece.
Good.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's good stuff. I'm excited.
Were you going to say something before I cut you off?
No. I was saying we've covered a lot of ground tonight, man. We've jumped around quite a bit. Least of which was Ghoulies. Don't count on it, Saturn. Like I said, I love the movie now, but it's still, I love a lot of movies that I would consider 5s out of 10s. So I still have to rate it accurately. But,
let me ask the chat. What is another movie that you can think of in the last 10 or 15 years that you think is just fucking great, but it's taken a back seat, like Lords of Salem? That's just like, it's not being, it's no, like it had its time and then it kind of went away, but you think it's great. Like I want to talk about these movies tonight. If anybody can think of something else, or Brandon, if you can think of something that you remember that was just like, dude, that movie was great, but now it's just kind of like, what happened to that?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something juicy. There's a lot of them too. I'm going to think about like 20 of them after we end the stream.
How did you, somebody actually just took the words out of my mouth. How did you feel about Your Next?
I was not a fan. The
well,
problem was
you hyped up for it too much.
Everybody hyped me up about it. It's the greatest movie ever. You got to see it. It's so good. So I went into it with these bizarre, extreme expectations, and I was just like, okay, it's okay.
There's a return of Barbara Crampton though, because she stopped acting for a long time.
Right. great movie. I'm trying to think of something that's come out recently that's just kind of fallen to the wayside. This is sort of not the same thing you're talking about, but I'll touch on it anyway. Adam Green's Hatchet franchise. There's 4 of them, so he's not doing badly, but I feel like he came out of the gate swinging with Hatchet 1 and 2. This big new independent low budget slasher movie director, Victor Crowley, the Hatchet films, totally Friday the 13th inspired. Great fucking films. And I feel like they never got big like they deserve to be, because Hatchet 1 and 2 at least were fucking-tastic movies. 3 and 4 were good, but not as good. But
I think 4 is a little underrated. I think he really takes the piss out of himself in 4, and I really like 4.
4 is way better than 3.
I have a buddy that had a mock-up book, I, Survivor. Like, it was book with him on the cover. I should have asked him where he got it, because I loved it. I think 4 is, I agree. I think 4 is in fact better than 3. It's
way better than 3.
And he's filmed it secretly.
Yeah.
After George Romero died, he was going to be done with it, but I think like he was just as a tribute to George. He was like, "Nah, screw it. If George can make more living dead films, I can do another Hatchet."
Yeah, and on that note, I'm thankful for the success of Terrifier 1 and 2. Great fucking movies. All the power to the filmmakers of that film. But it's weird how Art the Clown and Terrifier are blowing up on a mainstream level. Victor Crowley is still it's weird to me. Like, I don't understand really why.
Well, I think it was before. I think if you made that movie now, it would have had a much better shot, because you look at it, Hatchet. I remember Kane talking about when Adam did Hatchet, he did get offers for theatrical releases, but he would have had to cut out a lot of the gore. And he said, and Kane said he outright refused because it was an X rating. So he outright refused. And I remember him talking, there was a documentary I was watching about Adam Green or something, and Dee Snider was talking about how Adam wanted the movie to be released theatrically as is, and he went to court about it, and then he lost whatever it was. But I think Hatchet, I think Victor Crowley would decimate Art the Clown. Like, Hatchet was a beast.
In a fight, yeah. Victor Crowley was insane.
And that's kind of Kane still at his best.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, those are the Jason movies we never got, you know? Sort of his swan song.
I think part 2 is the absolute funniest and best one.
It is.
Because of Tony Todd truly steals the show in 2.
He does.
Because there was I watched Adam Green talk about making Reverend Zombie, and Tony would be like, "Now, can this guy do magic?" And he's like, "No." Is this guy a con artist? Yes. Does he know how to do some magic? No, he's a con artist. And he says what made Tony figure out the character. He goes, "But does he think deep down inside he has the ability to do magic?" And Adam goes, "Okay, he does." So that's why, like, Tony has, like, he's so lovable in that movie for all the wrong reasons, because he's a con artist, but he does have like that.
He's doing like the.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's fucking
funny. Hilarious, dude.
And dude, when they pan across the room and Bill Johnson's sitting down there, and then you got Lloyd Kaufman, and they're all eating, and then as soon as Tony goes, "I brought you all here today. Wait a minute. What about them cookies?"
Right.
Cookie. And he's like, "Fine, pass the cookies out."
Right.
Wait a minute. What about the milk? There's no milk.
That movie's fucking fantastic.
What about the legendary song? You ready? "We got the chicken with the biscuits and the gravy."
Yeah.
On the biscuits.
I was loving that same dude's like, "Voodoo magic," and Tony Todd's just staring at him all silently. That shit's funny as fuck. And dude, bats will probably come flying out of it. I love that shit.
And that's Tom Holland. Tom Holland is playing Danielle Harris's. But dude, why does Danielle Harris look like this the whole movie? Did she just get a shot of Botox or something? She looks like The Rock the whole movie.
I heard that was a deformity she had at the time. I could be wrong, but
don't get me wrong. She's still beautiful. I love Danielle, but she does this the whole movie. Like, her eyebrow is just up the whole time.
Yeah, I heard there was something wrong with her.
Ridiculous. My family.
Yeah.
Like, I love her to death, but like the whole movie, she's like this. You want to know one of her best movies? No bullshit. No bullshit. Is
Are you
See No
gonna say-
Evil 2.
I haven't seen See No Evil 1.
Dude, See No Evil 1 sucks. See No Evil 2 was directed by the Saska sisters, whoever they're called. They became like really popular.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat will agree with me. I swear to God. See No Evil 2 is fucking insanely good. And it's also got Catherine Isabel in it from Freddy vs. Jason.
Right.
See No Evil 2, Brandon, you would love. I swear to Christ.
Hell yeah.
Bronson Wright Wolf with a $5 super chat. This Is the End was great. It came out in 2013. Seth Rogen, James Franco, Jay Baruchel, Jonah Hill, Danny McBride, and Craig Robinson played themselves. I like This Is the End. I saw that in theaters.
It's pretty good.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Bronson. We give you a little something, something. Let's see.
The best part of eating corn on the cob is when like shit sprays out of it and you hit somebody in the eye with the water. Hell yeah.
Like I told you, dude. See No Evil 2, Brandon. You need to watch that. See No Evil
Not part
1.
one, just part 2.
Well, part 1 kind of sucks. So it's
Yeah.
a WWE film. So Vince McMahon was getting to the movie business. And See No Evil 1 it's okay. It's not bad, but dude, when See No Evil 2 came out, it came out like See No Evil 1 was like 2006. And it was
Right.
so cringy because on WWE Raw, when Kane was wrestling, all of a sudden something would come over the speaker in the arena, May 19th. And Kane would just like do this. And it was promotion for the movie, but they were trying to make it a part of like the show. And it was ridiculous. But I was excited for the movie. But then See No Evil 2 came out of absolutely nowhere. It was like 2015, and I was at Walmart, and I was like, See No Evil 2, what the And then I saw Daniel Harris on the top of it. I said, oh, hell yeah. This movie blew me the fuck away. It is good. It is suspenseful. It is creepy. I mean, this movie blew me the fuck away. It is so goddamn good.
Nice.
It's a classic. It's a Crystal Rage.
Crystal Rage, dude. That's the tier above Crystal Skull. Crystal Rage, dude. Fuck yeah. Oh man.
Oh shit. Hell House LLC. Have you seen that, Brandon?
I have not.
Dude,
I have not seen this movie.
One of the best modern found footage films, hands down.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
What's up, Mike?
Is there a sequel where the guy is still trapped in the house? Or am I thinking of something else?
Yes.
I'm thinking of something else, I think.
No. Well, you may be, but you're kind of right in one sense.
I think I'm thinking of the Paranormal Tapes.
You're thinking of paranormal. You're thinking of Grave Encounters.
Yes. Part 1 was excellent. Did not like part 2. Have not seen Hell House LLC.
Dude, you need to see Hell House LLC. It literally is becoming such a modern classic that they made 2 sequels after the film caught fire. And now there's a prequel coming out on Shudder on Halloween Eve.
Nice.
You need to see it. Hell House LLC has the scariest clown you'll ever see in your life.
Oh, really?
Dude, it's fucking good.
Should I look this up or should I just wait and see the film?
No, you need to watch it tonight. Or you have to go to work tomorrow, I'm sure. But you have
to. Is it on
watch.
Tubi?
This is not a film you can show the kid. It is fucking scary. It's on Shudder. It may be on Tubi, but it's on Shudder. I don't know if you have Shudder. You better have Shudder.
I don't have Shudder. I do not have Shudder. I have every other fucking streaming service on the planet, but I don't have Shudder.
May 19th.
The houses that October built is another one that the first one was great, but part 2 was not good.
No, part 2 pissed me off. I like the first 2 Rex Shade. I'd have to watch the third one again to have a better opinion. Oh man. Yeah, Brandon, see where you can watch Hell House LLC. Dude, I don't want you to bullshit around. I want you to watch it this week. I promise you won't be wasting your time. It's good.
I've never seen that, and I've never seen House of the Devil.
Both classics.
I've heard nothing but good things about both.
I want you to watch my favorite Ty West movie, though. It's called The Sacrament. It's another found footage movie about Jim Jones.
I saw bits of that movie, and what I saw, I was like, this is really fucking good. I've seen the last 20 minutes. There was a YouTube clip on it, and I found it by accident one time. I was like, this is awesome.
The Sacrament's my favorite he's ever done. So good.
That dude from the gas station scene in No Country for Old Men. It's good stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But no, I'm excited for they're also I don't know, have you kept up with the VHS movies?
I haven't seen any VHS movies or rec movies.
Why not?
So,
Dude, the VHS movies are classics.
They started coming out too fast, I think. I started seeing them like, what the fuck? Which is the first one? Which is the second one? What the fuck's going on here?
Well, VHS 2 has the greatest cult segment I've ever seen. Dude, it'll butter your bread.
I gotta watch it then.
It's really good. The chat will tell you VHS 2 is hands down the best. It's good. VHS 1 is good. VHS 2 just completely destroys it.
There's like 6 of those movies, right?
There's VHS, VHS 2, VHS Viral, which is pretty much the most forgettable one. I really can't even tell you a single segment from VHS Viral, VHS 3 essentially. Then they did VHS 94, which was good. There was one segment that was boring to me, but it had a great segment, a funeral home segment that was stellar. Then they did VHS 99, which I thought was good. Not great, but good. And now they got VHS 85 coming out soon.
Nice.
So we got 92 likes. I'd like to get to 100.
Hell yeah.
Let's get there, guys. But now, dude, I got a couple on this week. I got to watch Night of the Demons 3. I got to watch some of the Toxic Avengers so I can review that. But have you seen Night of the Demons 2?
Yeah. Night of the Demons 2 is my favorite one of the whole bunch.
I got a review done. If you're a patron, it's already available. But I can tell you right now, Night of the Demons 2 is one of the best horror sequels I've ever seen.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Dude, when she turns into the snake, my jaw legitimately hit the floor.
Some great makeup, dude. It's weird too, because when I was a kid, I remember seeing the cover for part 2 on VHS, and I always thought it looked so cheap. And when I finally saw the movie, I didn't see it that long ago for the first time, part 2. I probably saw it like 6-7 years ago for the first time.
It blew my fucking balls.
It was fucking great. It was great. It's way better than part 1, way better than part 3. But I also think part 3 is probably better than part 1, if I'm being honest. As weird as part 3 is, part 3 is also a good time.
Well, I'm excited to watch that. We're at 98 likes. We need 2 more likes, guys. I'm excited to watch part 3. But dude, part 2 to me, part 2 has literally no business that good for being that good in 1994.
Yep. The Nun is funny as fuck in part 2.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
99 likes. We got one more like. We got 100. Brandon, let me ask you this. JG Michael says the word Goosebumps, and we got 100 likes. Thank you guys. God bless. Brandon, what is the absolute best Goosebumps book, and what is the absolute best Goosebumps episode? You may not have the same answer.
The best Goosebumps episode for me is Haunted Mask 2. Haunted Mask 1 is a close second, but I think it's part 2 for me. The best Goosebumps book for me, it's got to be one answer, right? It's going to be, oh, fuck. I want to say it would depend on the day, but that feels cheap. I'm going to go with this. The best Goosebumps book is Night of the Living Dummy 3, followed very closely, and I mean very closely, by Beast from the East. Yeah.
I'll tell you what I think the best book is. There's kind of a sleeper.
Monster Blood 2.
The Cuckoo Clock of Doom. It's my favorite book.
I don't remember a thing from that book.
It's a time travel movie.
Right.
It's great. Very suspenseful. It was a good suspenseful read as a kid. Nail biter for me. And my favorite Goosebumps episode was the 2-part trip to Horrorland.
That was a good episode. That like juice drink they get in like the plastic container. I wanted that shit so bad. It looks delicious. Whatever the fuck it was. I think it was
What
like a
about
purple slime or something.
the chat is bringing up "Stay Out of the Basement"?
That was a great episode.
So
Bizarre.
basically, the dad was experimenting with plants. The plants turned into a clone of his dad,
Right.
trapped the dad in the basement, and
Right.
the plant dad came up. I'll tell you what, dude, when I was a kid, when one of the kids is creeping through the blinds and they see the dad oozing green shit out of his wrists, that really tormented me,
Yeah.
you know?
Bizarre, dude. That was fucking bizarre.
And then he'd come up every now and again, stay out of the goddamn basement.
Right. Fucking classic era, dude. I always hated the look of Slappy in the series, man.
Well, it was much different than the cover of him on the book. They gave him like orange hair.
Yeah. No freckles.
The way he looked
Bizarre.
on the covers of the book was terrifying.
Yeah.
Like let me see. Let's look at the comparisons.
The way he looked on the to me, the way he looked on the second cover of part 2 where he's on the pink bed, he looks the scariest.
Let's so Night of the
Living Dummy. But even the first book where he's like kind of just like he's in shadow. So horrifying.
All right, so here's Night of the Living Dummy 1.
Yeah, look at that.
Look
Look
how-
at that shit.
That is
Sinister.
Now, Brandon, don't you think that's a movie right there?
It is. It is.
Like
That's a whole
I'm
movie.
not but I'm not talking just like a Goosebumps thing. I'm talking about a legitimate big budget movie.
Oh yeah.
Is it a James Wan film, or do you think somebody else should do it?
I'll say it's probably a James Wan film. He seems to have a little bit of experience with ventriloquist dummies.
Let's
Look
see
at his face on the part 2 cover, though. I promise that's Nightmare Fuel.
I'm looking for it. Oh, is this? I think I see it.
Yeah, he's fucking bizarre looking there.
Yeah. And it's all like pink and stuff. And this is part 3.
That was, I think that's probably my favorite book.
Yeah. Goosebumps book covers. The Beast from the East is a classic
That's
cover.
a fucking great book, dude.
Welcome to Dead House. Dude, look at the art on that, but the house is
Yeah.
just so classic. Stay Out of the Basement. What is this one? I don't remember this one. The Curse of Camp Cold Lake.
I never read that one.
Oh, Brian, I remember this one.
Oh yeah.
The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and here's mine. This
Yep.
was my favorite book, The Cuckoo Clock of Doom. I loved this book. It was really suspenseful. Whoa, what is this, Brandon? Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes? That wasn't
That
a
was
real
a
book, was it?
great book. That was a great book. So was Attack of the Mutant. Attack of the Mutant was great.
And this was one of the first movies they did,
Mhm.
right? A Night in Terror Tower.
Yeah.
Dude, I need those VHS. Do you have any of those VHS tapes?
I don't anymore. I have the VHS tape for Haunted Mask 1 and 2, but I don't have the covers. I just have the tapes.
Oh, dude, that's classic. Remember Monster Blood?
Oh yeah. The Monster Blood 2 cover I think is historic with the giant fucking hamster in the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I just saw. Hold on. Remember this one? Why Am I Afraid of Bees?
Oh yeah.
What's
I don't
the
think
one
I
with
ever
the
read
giant?
that one.
There's one more like a giant ant thing or some kind of praying mantis. I remember that. It was like
Shocker on
in
Shock Street.
Shocker on Shock Street. Let me look that up. I remember Brandon, my library, they would have hardcover versions of these books, and I would rent them all the time.
Nice.
Shocker on Shock. That's what it was. That's it.
The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena was a great fucking cover too.
Must have searched that before.
It always comes back to Goosebumps. Dude, look at that fucking artwork, dude.
That's great.
What was his name? TJ Jacobus or Jim Jacobus or something? T Jacobus.
What, the artist?
Yeah, he's got like an art book out that has all the art stuff. I want to buy it, but I haven't bought it yet. It's probably out of print by now.
There was another cover I was just thinking about, Brandon, with a hammerhead shark. Terror
Deep
of
Trouble. Deep Trouble.
I remember liking that one too. Oh, there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what Deep Trouble is. That's
I
it,
thought there was
Brandon.
only 2. I thought there was only 2 of them.
Hold on, let me do.
That's a great cover, dude.
There's a couple of them. All right, so here's Deep Trouble with the Hammerhead. That one, I really liked that book. I remember that book. And then Deep Trouble 2 has like a puffer fish on the front. Deep Trouble 2. Or like a piranha, right?
Yeah, I don't think... Is there a part 3? I don't remember there being a part 3.
Maybe not.
Unreal.
I guess not. Crazy, dude. Oh, Goosebumps audiobook? I'll listen to that.
Dude, if it's R.L. Stine narrating it, I'm totally buying that shit.
I gotta look into that. I wonder if there is any. All right, here's
Dude.
Oh, Brandon, look at that, Brandon. The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. I remember that one. The girl.
There's
who
a sequel
cried
to it too.
Oh, the Muckman and the piano guy. See the
Yep.
hands right there? God, dude,
Yep.
this is so much nostalgia hitting me.
I had a puzzle of the Camp Nightmare one back in the day. That was good stuff. The Camp Jelly Jam guy is terrifying.
The blob that ate everyone.
Yeah.
The horror at Camp Jelly. Yeah, that is creepy, dude. Man, oh man. Good times. Kids today just don't know, dude.
They don't know.
Like this
The
shit.
Snowman.
Man. Good times. Anyway, any last minute questions, guys, before we wrap it? This has been a fun show with it's been the RC Ghoulies Power Fest show. Thank you, Salem's Station Podcast. $2 super chat. Monster Blood 4 cover is wacky.
It is.
Let me look that up. Thank you so much, Salem's. Since he brought it up with the super chat, he deserves for us to pull it up. Monster Blood 4. I don't remember what it is. Oh, dude, is that like some kind of weird slug?
Yeah, the blue slug things.
Ugh. That should be your wallpaper.
Dude, totally. That's actually my bathroom. That's just what it's like in there.
There's the hamster, Brandon. Ah.
That shit's so good.
Brandon, do you remember it was like the second generation of Goosebumps books when they just started becoming like choose your own adventure at a certain point? Like you would say, you get to a certain point, it would say go to page this or go to page that.
Give yourself goosebumps. I never liked it.
I know it's too much work.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have to pick.
Yeah, I wanted a complete story. So
here we go. I got one more question for the night, Brandon. Thoughts on Sinister?
Have not seen it. Like everything else we've talked about tonight, I haven't seen it. There's so much shit I haven't seen, guys. I'm sorry.
I think Sinister is incredible. Thank you, Ven. Just appreciate that. Sorry, video with $5 super chat. Look up that I Live in Your Basement for me. It's my favorite book. Don't go in the basement, but I Live in Your Basement.
Is that Goosebumps?
Apparently.
I don't recognize that name.
Oh, dude, this is kind of like that nasty rat one. Here you go. Looks like a Muckman.
Oh, I do remember that cover now. I never read that one.
I don't remember that one. Here it is, kind of like a art shot of it. I'll be damned, dude. Good times.
Mm-hmm.
The artwork for those were incredible. I'd love a 27 by 40 of one of those book covers, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, this has been a hell of a show, a nice chill show. on a Monday. Hopefully, it made your Mondays better. And we'll be back before you know it. At the latest, we'll be back on the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
So 10 days from now. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Thank you, Mickey B, for becoming a new channel member tonight. Thank you for the super chats, guys. I appreciate it. But hell yeah. Anyway, Brandon, you got any final thoughts?
I do not.
There you go.
I do not.
Well, guys, thank you for another night of Planet Dirty. Take care.
Mongolian beef. It is off the chain. Oh, it's crispy. Dude, it's fantastic. That shit is fantastic.